Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our webinar tonight. My name is Hannah Craig. I am an independent quantum living advocate with Solex, a business owner. I am the owner and founder of Woven Holistic Wellness, and I am a global leader in the field of bioresonance therapy. Tonight, I am joined by my dear friend and business partner, Stacey Ellie.
Hey everybody, I am Stacey Ellie. I am a registered nurse and I am also a quantum living advocate with Solex and have been using the AOScan technology since the end of 2020 with my clients, my family, and just about anybody else who's willing to take a look at it. I am also a holistic practitioner and I am in the process of opening a very large quantum wellness center here in the Woodlands, Texas area.
Yes, together, Stacey and I have, gosh, over 2 decades of working in the wellness field, both in the allopathic and holistic healthcare sides. And tonight, what we want to share with you is, well, something that's been inspiring us for a long time, which is to shift the practitioner paradigm from burnout and helping one to helping many. And we're going to go into all of that tonight. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen here so we can get to the good stuff. All right, so tonight we are going to talk about this incredible tool known as the AOScan technology, and Stacey's going to kick us off with this next slide. Here we go.
So let's talk about these statistics. Now, I really think that these are much higher than the information that I found, but there is an estimated 129 to 133 million Americans right now suffering from at least one chronic condition. And it's projected that nearly 170 million Americans will have at least one condition by 2030. 6 in 10 Americans right now have at least one chronic disease, and 4 in 10 have two or more. So think about that. And this is getting to be more and more and more as we move further on. And so I wanted to share a statistic also with mental health. In 2019, 970 million people worldwide were dealing with a mental disorder, with an estimated 26% increase in anxiety and 28% increase just in 2020 alone in mental health disorders. And so what's interesting with that too is this is just specific diagnoses. And so I really firmly believe that there are a lot more people dealing with anxiety and depression right now, even than these numbers. So when we talk about these statistics, we wanted to also talk a little bit about just the holistic health boom. And you may all have noticed this too. There is this shift happening right now and has in the last few years of more awareness, more tech advancements, and there's more of a focus on preventative health, and at-home self-care tools. The US wellness market is rapidly growing. Right now it's 1.8 trillion and projected to continue to expand. We have all of these amazing scientific advancements in the field of cancer in different areas. For example, we have now this FDA approved, if you all have read about this, histotripsy, which is actually a frequency sound wave technology that targets cancer and destroys cancer tumors. And so there's this increased integration of also energy therapies in conventional medicine. And so if you see information out there, I have a friend here who actually does acupuncture in local hospitals here. We have seen different information shared around sound therapy being used in NICUs and different things like that. And so there's this big movement. And so also with that, we see these frequency technologies that have been used in the past more as diagnostic tools, as far as like ultrasound and MRIs and different things like that, to this home, light and frequency therapies that people can use at home that practitioners are even incorporating in their practice. Like I just talked about, I have this friend who is a doctor in Chinese medicine. She has since implemented red light therapy and PEMF in her practice, along with her, her herbal medicine and her acupuncture.
Yes, and I'll just add that, both Stacey and I have witnessed over the last almost 5 years of using this technology, the shift from more traditional medicine to people being more open to trying holistic alternative. They call it alternative. We know it's the real deal, the original deal. Being more open-minded to trying frequency-based, energy-based medicine and technologies. And so now that the world is shifting, as practitioners and health professionals, we have to shift with that and we have to be able to best support the people who need our help most. So we're going to get into more of that here soon. But I just wanted to add that the paradigm is shifting on many levels, both in the holistic health space towards more frequency-based technologies, but also as practitioners as well, we have to now figure out how we can help as many people as we can, because there are just more and more people becoming unwell. So some questions to ask yourself as we start to go into details about the AO scan technology, but really just overall with this paradigm shift that we are creating here is with the increase in demand, how many people are falling ill to different health imbalances? How do you as a practitioner maintain balance in your life, prevent burnout? I've been there. I have been there where I wanted to help as many people as I could, but I'm one person, right? And just like all of you, but there are millions, millions of people who need our help. So how can we prevent burnout, find balance? And this tool is the answer. How can you shift your practice model? None of us want to admit it, but I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, I am enabling my patients by having access to this tool and keeping it for myself and having them rely on me to use it instead of empowering them with their own access to this technology. And that's why the AO scan is so incredible because we can give our patients and our clients access to this tool. We'll get into that a little bit more. And then with the increasing access to knowledge and new affordable wellness tools, how are you as a practitioner going to stay relevant in the holistic health space? I know that's a deep one. I hope you're writing these down because these are important. And how are you going to shift away from the ratio of touching one to touching many? Sitting with a client hour by hour, that is wonderful, but it takes a lot of time and energy, and you don't get to help as many people as I know you would like to in your heart, and I know that you're capable of. And the ASCAN technology allows you to touch many. So what is the AO scan? Well, it is a full spectrum wellness solution. It empowers you to empower your clients. It is safe and non-invasive. It's accessible, meaning anyone can access this on a device like a computer, a tablet, or even their cell phone. It's easy to use. If you can, we always say if you can operate any app on your phone, you can operate this system. It's easy and effective, the most important, right? Everybody is looking for these quick, easy solutions, which is often why they reach for the over-the-counter medicines or, the quick band-aid approach from the allopathic world because they don't know that something like this exists. But it is easy to use and it's effective, most oftentimes pretty immediately. It's comprehensive. So we're looking at a bio-individual approach using this technology, root cause, detailed level of what is going on in the energetic state of someone's overall emotional and physical health. And it is a whole body bioresonance scanner. There's very few things that cannot scan and optimize. It also generates frequencies. So it's not just going to let somebody know what is out of balance. It's going to do something about it by sending them the balancing frequencies, which is a blessing for you to be able to help your clients in this way.
So everything is energy. And so when we look at from an energy perspective, when you get down to the atom, as small as the atom, what is it? It's just a bunch of electrons bouncing around. And what is causing those electrons to move around? It's energy, okay? Everything in the universe, including humans, is made up of energy fields and particles. We are powered by these biochemical processes that actually generate and utilize energy. Our heart, our brain, our organs, they produce actual measurable electrical activity. And so, because of this, we respond very, very well to frequency and energy medicine. I love this so much. So much. I love to call this a simple protocol because in a lot of ways we try to make the AOScan technology much more difficult than what it is, and it really is very, very simple. And so there are much more programs to do this technology, but we are going to just go over 6 programs today, okay? And they are MindSync, Inner Voice, Vitals, Comprehensive, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Easy Scan because Easy Scan actually is an easy scan. It's an inner voice vitals and comprehensive scan all in one. And then we're going to talk about the SEFI program.
All right, so what is MindSync? Well, many of you on this call have been using MindSync with us. I see some familiar faces. I would love to hear your testimonials in the chat there. But the biggest thing at the root of all imbalances and all struggles in life is our mindset, is our subconscious beliefs, right? So if we have a belief that came to us from childhood or in utero, that's not even ours or from a teacher that we, year after year they would tell us something about ourselves, that sticks with us. It becomes a belief and then it creates our reality, right? So what we are witnessing using this program called MindSync is people literally shifting their health imbalances, their physical health imbalances, just by changing their mindset, their belief. It's super powerful. This program allows your patients and clients to create positive affirmations for the reality they want to live. Is their relationships causing them to have health challenges? We all know that everything starts out energetically and eventually manifests physically. And emotional imbalances are a huge part of that. So if we don't feel worthy, if we don't feel abundant, if we come from a scarcity background and mindset, if we have struggled with health issues for a long time, that begins to become beliefs in our subconscious. And it is really hard to shift those beliefs up until now with this program. So it creates this custom positive affirmation music, your own personalized meditation with your patient or client's voice. Super powerful. Meditation is also a growing trend because of the positive impacts it has in this world and as in your life as a human. But there's a difference between listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza or someone on YouTube telling you all these positive affirmations that you are peaceful and you are loved versus using your own voice to change your subconscious beliefs. This program allows these positive affirmations to cross the barrier of consciousness into the subconscious using an 8 hertz offset or difference in the sound. So reprogram your beliefs for just like it takes 5 minutes. That's it. You can use it daily, have your patients and clients listen to it daily. This is something I have been doing and made significant shifts in my life. Stacey, did I miss anything here? This is Stacey's wheelhouse. I want to make sure I give her a minute to chat about it if I need to.
The only thing I wanted to add to that is a lot of us practitioners, and I'm sure I'm speaking for quite a few of you here, is in the work that I have done in the past when I worked one-to-one with clients was they usually came to me after they tried all the things and then they would come to me. And usually by that time, they have created this belief that no matter what I try doesn't work. Okay. How many practitioners here have heard that? If you believe, okay, on a deeper level that no matter what you try, nothing works, or healing is just not for me, it's only for other people, different things like that. this becomes a way that people can literally shift that programming that could very well be the block to their healing, to their deeper healing. With us, we have with our team, I have created an amazing worksheet that anybody on our team can take and use with their clients that really helps them unravel, figure out the actual subconscious belief programming that is literally holding them back from healing, from living their best life. And so we have those tools for you too.
Yes, thank you. And I will add also, as a professional and provider, it's very easy to get caught up in the beliefs that they won't be okay without me. They need me to save them. I have to help this person in this way. Have you all ever thought about that when working with somebody? Or I'm not worthy enough to charge somebody XYZ for this service. All of that, those are just subconscious beliefs that we can change and shift for you. So again, you can create. You want time freedom, you want financial freedom, you want to work 20 hours a week, but help 50 people in those 20 hours. You can make that possible, and this program will help you do that. Okay, we digress. Let's move on to another favorite program on the AO scan technology, which is called Inner Voice. What is this program? Well, it scans your voice for 10 seconds. It's analyzing over 10,000 frequencies and then identifies the top four emotions that are most imbalanced. Well, how does it do this? Each note is correlated to a certain emotion, and it's going to pull the top four. You can tell when someone is speaking. Are they confident? Are they nervous? How is their day? Are they in a good mood, a bad mood? We carry our emotions in our voice. And so by scanning our voice, we're able to, well, not me. This very intelligent technology is able to pick up on the imbalances with your emotions, and it then creates personalized sound therapy music for your patients and clients to listen to. This program alone has, like, I've witnessed miracles with it. It is shifting people's lives, both with physical imbalances and emotional, typically within 1 to 3 sessions. But imagine your patients and clients having access to this every single day. They are going to feel better faster, which is what we all want, right? So we have noticed improved mood, boosting creativity. People are sleeping better. They are less stressed, fearful, overwhelmed. For me personally, as a mom and a business owner, I am less reactive with my kids when I listen to my music daily. I am more productive in my business and focused. This has really helped me make some significant progress on my healing journey as well. And we have some more statistics we're going to share with you here on this slide.
So this is a small sample of people that we did. This was a couple of years ago. We did a 21-day challenge with the inner voice. And so from a practitioner standpoint, though, think about this. And so over 3 weeks, just by listening to the sound therapy, okay, on a daily basis, there was a 54.2% improvement in symptoms. And so here you're looking at there was a 70% improvement in depression, a decrease in physical pain, decrease in anxiety, and better sleep. And so if you are, let's just say, working with clients with pain or with issues with sleep, etc., or some type of mental emotional issues, imagine how this can synergistically work with whatever program that you already have them doing or whatever therapies they're coming to your practice to do, how this would work together with your protocols, your programs, etc.
All right. So we're going to continue to share with you some more programs on the AO scan. This program is called Vitals. It is a blood biology scan, scanning the energetic state of your blood biology. It's going to identify imbalances in the areas of food and environmental sensitivities. It'll do a full CBC panel, hormone, being able to track your hormones or your patient and client's hormones throughout their cycle or the month. It looks at immune function, detoxification panel, cardiovascular and cerebral vascular health. That is really big right now. It will look at macro and micro minerals and vitamins, all the pathogens, right? So bacteria is, but not all, because there's so many, but many bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites, your toxin load. It'll look at are your chakras and meridians in balance and gastrointestinal health as well. It doesn't just then say, okay, here's what's out of balance for you. It goes a step further and does something about it through optimization. So, with your clients and patients having access to this at home, and we'll get into the easy scan here in a minute. One tap of a button, they are able to scan and optimize their blood biology. They're able to get their personalized sound therapy music. And we're going to show you this next scan here called Comprehensive. This is incredible. You can then have them send you that information if you want to track it and get a better idea of, why they're dealing with the symptoms they are, etc. But I don't know of any place in the world that's open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to be able to empower a patient with something like this, with overall whole body balancing. It's incredible. And I'm gonna move on before I say the same thing over and over again. How many adjectives do we have here, Stacey, for this tool? All right. So the other program on here that we wanted to share with you is the comprehensive program. This is the anatomy scan. So you can scan over 130. Actually, it's more than that now. The number keeps on growing. Anatomical items in the body. So it's looking at chromosomes. It's looking at veins, arteries, nerves, your skeletal system, your lymphatic health, your digestive health, reproductive organs, to be able to see how they're functioning energetically and then send the balancing frequencies back to them. It does provide a graphical report. All of our reports are very educational and informational in nature, which is also empowering. We want our patients and clients to own their health because there is something to that. Further healing happens when we take responsibility for our own health, and this tool allows your patients and clients to do that. All right.
So I love talking about this program. It's called Easy Scan because it is, in fact, so easy. And Hannah put this cute little finger, but it literally is one button and three scans in one. And so we just talked about the inner voice, the vitals, and the comprehensive. Literally, this is what I rely on all the time, even with myself. It's super simple. You just take your voice recording and then it jumps right into vitals, does that scan, sends the optimizing frequencies, then it jumps right into comprehensive and scans and optimizes. And so you get immediate results, one tap. Okay. Now, so think about this when we just talked about the vital scan and the comprehensive. If you are, let's just say you are a practitioner that is, I don't know, let's just say a chiropractor, and you deal with individuals with, let's say, chronic pain or something like that, okay? If you set them up with a protocol of, let's just say, doing an easy scan daily or several times a week, okay? It is actually going to the actual AOScan technology is going to work to bring all of their frequencies into balance on a consistent basis. Okay. How does that work with in between your sessions to have them continuously bringing their energetic frequencies into balance? Okay. And how does that, when you think about that, how does that synergistically work with your adjustments or different things like that that you are doing with your clients? Or if you're doing functional medicine, okay, and you have them taking certain uh, certain supplements and different things like that, if you are treating it from this end, from the biological standpoint, but then you're having them work on the frequency level, how much quicker are you going to get to that balance? Treating it from basically two ends is how I would say, but it's so amazing the way that it can work synergistically together. So now we're going to talk about Sephi. Sephi's our powerhouse. Anybody who's on here will can agree with me that we love this program. And so Sephi stands for Subtle Energy Frequency Imprinter. Literally, this is more than 1,000. I don't even know, probably multiple thousands of frequencies now. specific frequencies to support illness, emotions, injuries, and more. You can create custom frequency playlists. You can scan and identify which frequency is needed. I do this all the time with myself. I can scan what essential oil frequency I need, what mineral frequency, etc., what Bach flower. You can also imprint to create custom homeopathy tinctures, pellets, etc., flower remedies. You can actually imprint frequencies into, we have these frequency patches and more. You can actually imprint it into your water, etc. And then you can also broadcast frequencies to anyone, anywhere in the world. We were talking about this beforehand. What can we list on here, because it's just amazing when you see it. And so what do you get just with the SEFI program? And so you get affirmation frequencies anywhere from abundance, success, focus, gratitude, love, etc. Illnesses and ailments anywhere from a frequency for hypertension to abdominal pain to constipation, you name it, we have it. We also have now frequencies for minerals, your macro, your macro minerals, etc. Essential oil frequencies. We do have Bach and bush flowers. We have chakra frequencies. We have a full library of homeopathic frequencies along with nosodes and cell salts. And we have a full library of detox support frequencies anywhere from parasite detox to vaccination detox to Epstein-Barr, you name it, we have it.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that. What this allows you to do, this program, is to create a custom playlist for your patient or client. And all they have to do is hit their easy scan and run that, and then go into the SEFI and start broadcasting themselves the frequency playlist that you created for them. So it doesn't have to be complicated. You know what their symptoms are. You know what frequencies in the AO scan will best support them. And again, there is no price that you can put on the ability for a patient or client to be at home at 11 p.m. at night, and all of a sudden their back pain flares up, or they get horrible liver pain, or they're down with a migraine, and they are helpless. They can't do anything about it until they meet you who has the AO scan technology, and you who's going to empower them to be able to use this tool and support themselves in these types of situations. It doesn't mean they don't need you. It just means they're really gonna love you because you're helping them feel better even when they're not with you. That is why we love this tool, and that is why we are here tonight sharing the power of it with you all. We wanted to share just a quick sample of what a custom playlist looks like. You can add up to 15. 5 to 7 is usually great, but we wanted to really give you an example of like just some of the choices you have to be able to for your patients and clients to support yourself. But again, I don't want to forget about you as a provider, because energetically we need to stay balanced too. And by you having your own access to the AO scan, you will be better able to clear your energy from the things that you are exposed to by working with people all day long, and stay balanced by listening to your inner voice music. Go on vacation, and if you get an insect bite or if you eat too much junk, you can support yourself. So when you return, you can show up as the best provider to your community and those you serve. So here's just a quick snapshot of some of the different frequencies you can use with yourself and those you serve. Okay, and so then we just want to talk about a simple protocol. We don't have to overcomplicate this. You can compile as many of the programs as you want or don't want. What I do is when someone enrolls with the ASCAN technology as a client of mine, I have a template. I type in what they need to be doing. For almost everybody, it's the same. The only thing that changes is their SEFI custom playlist. I email that off to them, and then they get to work. I tell them to hang it up on their fridge or their mirror, wherever, they'll be reminded, and they know, okay, Monday through Saturday, I'm running my easy scan and listening to my inner voice music. Sunday is my day of rest. All of this can be completed in less than 15 minutes. The easy scan itself takes 5 minutes or less. Listening to their music, we encourage them to, create a self-care practice out of it. So that's where the time can expand from there. But actually running the frequencies takes very little time altogether. And it also works synergistically, as Stacey was mentioning, with your other offerings. So if you provide IV therapies, if you provide supplements or chiropractic or acupuncture or massage or cupping or all the things we can do, all the fun things we can do. This only complements what you're already doing and helps to bring the body back into balance faster. The more people that are feeling better sooner, the more people that are going to be knocking at your door. As we mentioned, unfortunately, there are far too many people suffering in this world, and they need solutions like this and people like you to empower them. And then they're going to go tell all their family and friends, and you will never be out of a job. I wish it wasn't that way because I don't want people suffering, but it is our reality. So let's raise the vibration together. It's non-invasive, right? So this is another great perk. They don't have to come into the office. If they can't, they don't have to experience pain like with a blood draw or no offense, acupuncture, but having 100 needles in their body. They can just simply tap the button and go about their day. And it encourages the body. It encourages body autonomy, right? So having some power over our health. That we've talked about this already, how empowering that is to feel like you have some control with what's going on in your body, and to be able to help and support yourself in that way. And then really feeling like it's this teamwork connection where it's not just the top-down model where I'm the provider barking orders and telling everybody down here what to do, but it's really this teamwork of an effort, this interconnectedness between the provider and the patient client to work together to bring harmony and help them return to thriving. Go ahead, Stacey.
So I always tell people we need to look at synergy because we're moving into this world where there's so many people that have these unexplained challenges that don't fit into a traditional box, okay? And we can't put a label on it anymore. It's just that everybody's check engine light is on. And so we don't always have all the answers, but there's this movement also in stacking, okay? Stacking therapies, stacking. And so AO scan becomes a way that works with whatever you're doing, okay? It's reliable, it's effective, it's accessible 24/7. I can't even tell you how many times my kids have an issue at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I don't, and in the past, I'd be trying to run to the ER or something like that. This is a tool that your patients and clients can jump to if, let's say, little Johnny has a fever, little Johnny has the sniffles, and they don't freak out, okay? They don't have to freak out anymore, all right? This is consistent frequency optimization, all right? You're bringing the energy centers, you're bringing the meridians consistently into alignment. When the energy centers and the frequencies in the body become consistently more in balance, anything that you do on top of it is just cake. It's going to be amazing and it works together. This is a way for people to have this emotional balance and stress management in between and outside of their appointments and therapies with you. Okay. I can't even tell you in the past how many times, because I used to work with people with significant emotional trauma. We're talking people that have been hospitalized in mental hospitals, period, many, many times and stuff like that. Getting calls at 10 o'clock at night, midnight, and I had to talk them off a cliff. Now, if they had something that before they got to that point that they could use at home, I all I have to do is just give them that information and direct them, and then they could have been using that to get them calmed down before they got to that point, okay? Think about the subconscious limiting belief programming. Do you even have a tool like that? Okay. I use belief coding, but there are other modalities out there. But a lot of times it's people's beliefs that are really holding them back from their health and their healing. This is a tool that you could set them up with that they can work on all of those beliefs, all of that I guess false programming, I would say, in between working with you. Symptom management between appointments, all right? If you have clients, let's say that you have chronic pain, they can be using this other modality. They can use the frequencies for pain, etc. The sound therapy to help with that in between their sessions with you. And I always say treatment gaps because the thing with the AO scan that's so amazing is we are all magical. I'm going to say this. Anybody on this call are all magical, amazing practitioners. Okay. But let's face it, we don't always have all the answers. And the AO scan, a lot of times, most times, can pick up things that I don't even know how to muscle test for. I don't even think to test for. I don't even think to look for. And so this becomes a way to pick up gaps in your treatment modalities, okay, but not to replace them. So this is my favorite part. Okay, let's do the math. All right. I love this so much because when you see this, this is going to flipping blow your mind. All right. So the AO scan subscription, if you are not currently using the AO scan, it is only $149 a month to have access to this. Okay. When you sign somebody up, when you sign one of your patients up with the AO scan, all right, you get $50 a month commission, okay, for every single month that they are active using the AO scan, all right? So we're going to show you some amazing math here. Now, I made this simple. So this is based on 20 new clients or patients in your program or per month, okay? So results will vary, all right? But I want you to really take a look at what is possible, okay? So hypothetically, all right, some practitioners are much more busy than this and some are not as busy, all right? But think of this. Let's just say you had a program. I'm going to say like a gut or a parasite program, and it's a 1 month program, okay? And you have 20 people that you bring in each month into this program that you have, whatever you're doing, supplementation, etc., okay? You bring them in and then you sign them up, okay, with the AO scan. So in month one, you have 20 new people using the AO scan, and that's $1,000, okay, you get in addition in that month, okay? So month two, you bring in another 20 people, all right? That becomes $2,000 that you're making that month, okay? So each month, all the way through to 12 months, if you're bringing in 20 new patients or clients, by the end of that year, you're bringing in $12,000 a month in residual income, okay? In that right column, I wanted to show you the cumulative effect, okay? The cumulative effect of that is in the first year, $78,000. Okay. That is amazing. All right. So, some of you practitioners that are getting completely burnt out or even wanting to kind of move into kind of exiting out or retiring, imagine what you could do in the last few years of your practice where you could set people up and then have this income coming in. Okay. This is freaking unbelievable when you look at this. All right.
And I'll just add that people stick with it because even once they feel well, they know other people who aren't feeling great and they want to help them. We see that we've seen this year after year. People whose lives have been changed with the AO scan technology, they never want to give it up. Just in case life things happen, right? Different things can come up in our life where a new illness or, like the pandemic, unexpected things. We say we never want to be without this tool. That is how most everybody who uses it feels. And so month after month, year after year, this passive income will continue to flow to you and you're still helping. Well, let me just share this example with me. Is that okay, Stacey, if
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
um my yes was about 4.5 years ago to this technology. I was working in a wellness practice and I was not looking for another tool. I was happy with the tools that we had and I was really not in the market for anything, but somebody came in and shared this AO scan with me. I gave it a try. It got rid of a cyst that I had had in my breast for 10 years in 3 days. I knew that I wanted this tool in my toolbox for our family for forever because if it could do that, what else could it do? But then organically, it grew beyond that. Family, friends wanted it. And then I started using it in my own practice. And the ripple effect that has happened in the last 4.5 years is over 3,500 people have been touched directly with the AO scan technology because of my yes, but thousands and thousands of more because the people who have the technology are also helping more people. So there is so much power with you helping a client, showing them what's possible, and then them going out and helping more people with it organically because it helps them. Um, I just want to say, never underestimate the power that you have by saying yes to something and changing someone's life. Okay.
So I wanted to share this only because, we had talked in the very beginning that, there is this movement of these self-help tools and different things like that. You see more and more out there on social media about PEMF, especially, and red light, especially. I see so much. I mean, everybody's getting into red light right now. Everybody's getting into PEMF and different things like that. And so, when you think of it from this standpoint, is people are looking and they're reading and they're learning about these tools. We have other devices in our toolbox at Solex that you could get in on it too. So if somebody's gonna buy a PMF mat, they might as well have you hook them up with it. And then when you think about things like the 660 band, which is our personal red light device, imagine incorporating that into protocols with your clients and different things like that. And so really teach them how to help themselves at home once you get them unstuck.
Hmm.
So Hannah touched on this before. I actually originally, and I was like, but then it got a little confusing. But, you know, how many of us as practitioners, I mean, I believe anybody who gets into the healing field is really doing it because they want to heal the world in some way, right? I mean, that's really what I want to do. I want to heal the whole world, all right? But it's pretty hard for me, just little me, to heal the entire world, all right? And so think about the possibilities with this. I have shared many times in the past in my prayers and in my downloads that you're going to touch healing on a massive level. But how do you do that as one person? Okay. And really, AO scan, I believe, is the answer. Okay. If you got into it to touch as many people as possible, that slide that we showed you, okay, if you just did the simple math on that, all right, the average family is, let's say, 4 people and an animal. I'm just putting that out there. All right. It's probably different numbers than that. But let's just say on that slide that I shared before, and just the simple math on that is, if you signed up 20 people, 20 patients per month with the AO scan, and then they start using it with just their immediate family and their dog, okay? So that's 20 times 5, that's 100 people. So you sign up 20, but you're literally touching 100. What does that turn out to be after 12 months, after several years? Hannah and I and Steph and Juliana and a lot of us have been using this from the very beginning. I literally have probably at least a good 300 to 400 profiles in my AO scan, just me, that I have touched personally, okay, with my device and using it with other people and helping them. So if Amy mom is using it with her husband and her 2 kids, for their headaches and for their sniffles and for their back pain, and then their dog with their anxiety. Imagine what you are touching just by doing that. It is just unbelievable what the ripple effect is with this.
Amen, sister. Never thought that with my lifestyle, I homeschool also as a mom, that I could touch thousands and thousands of people in the last 4 years. I could not have done that one-on-one personally, and that's why I'm so grateful. We are all so grateful for this technology. All right, well, the time is now. We touched on this before. We started off this webinar sharing these staggering statistics of the state of our health and well-being in America and all around the world. You know, we share what was going on in America. Now multiply that by hundreds because worldwide there is a crisis happening and people need you. They need you to be available to them. And how are you going to do that going forward? How are you going to give them access to you while also staying healthy and well yourself? And the AO scan technology is the solution. Together, we believe that we are better together. We are stronger together. Of course, the more the merrier. We can make a greater impact in this world when there are more of us helping people this way, empowering people to put their health back in their hands. We would love to have you join us on our mission and in our community. We have a wonderful group, as I mentioned, of over 2,000 active members using this technology, helping others. But now we're ready to shift that practitioner paradigm, right? We're ready to empower practitioners to have more time freedom and more financial freedom through this technology by getting it into their hands of their clients and patients. We are on a mission together to raise the vibration of our planet by helping people put their health back into their hands using quantum technology from Solex. We would love to have you join us on this mission. So please reach out to whoever invited you to this call tonight. Connect with them. We are going to have a quick question Q&A session after this, but we want you to connect with the people who brought you here so that you can get started with them. Our community offers a ton of resources and support and trainings to get you up and running, suggestions and tips and tricks. As I mentioned, Steph and Stacy, Julianne, and I, we have all been using this technology for almost 5 years. We have done it all. Well, we've done a lot with it, from using it in our wellness practices to building a business with Solex and much more. We would be more than honored to have you join us. And we really just want to help as many people as we can. We thank you for being here tonight. And if you have questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat around implementing AO Scan technology in your wellness practice as a practitioner. Yes, thanks, Misty, for sharing that. She's said that she's been struggling to scan so many people. It does get exhausting. We've all reached that burnout point, even personally, but also professionally. And and so yeah, we're happy to be bringing this idea to light and inspire you all to go out and just give each of them their own access to the AO scan technology. All right. No questions. We'll go ahead and reach out to the person who invited you here. Thank you again for taking time out of your evening and life to be with us. It was great to connect with you, and we hope to see you on further calls and doing this work together with us soon. Good night, everyone.